Now, to get to the subject you have all been waiting on, I want to bring on our featured speaker. Doris Mosley is a trichologist with over 46 years of experience. She hails from LA, but she is on vacation hanging out with her family in Georgia. She is the creator of the Spectrum Beauty Expo, International Beauty Expo, the largest expo of its kind in Southern California. I want to bring on our trichologist, Doris Mosley, so that she can answer some great questions. And Doris, I tell you, it's just so wonderful to see you. I have gotten so many, so many requests and questions about your event that we did last week, where you actually were live with your client there and went through that whole hair care system. And the scalp facial is the talk. It is the new thing, I'm telling you. So we are all excited about that scalp facial. I was just telling you earlier how I can't wait to do mine with I switched out my toothbrushes and ready to ready to do that with my toothbrush. And so just excited to hear you. No, you can't see me, Ernestine. I'm not on camera because I just came from the yard and I'm not camera ready like Miss Doris is. So you're not going to see me today. But what I like to do is, Doris, I'd love for you to come on and share with us some of the problems. I know that some of the issues with our hair is really with dealing with baldness. And so I know that there are three types of alopecia that people are dealing with, which is the medical term for baldness. Is that right?
Correct. First of all, Catherine, just let me say great evening or great morning, wherever you are, to each and every one of you that are on this Zoom today. I always say time is so precious and important, and it's something that you can't get back. But if you have hair loss and you still have a follicle, hey, hanging out with the Connor, that's a great possibility you can get your hair back. But we are in a epidemic, Catherine, when it comes to hair loss. And hair loss again, baldness is that alopecia is the medical term for baldness. And like Kathy said, there are three types of alopecia. We deal with alopecia areata, which is the patches. If you look, and from now on out, you're probably gonna be looking at people's heads and saying, they probably have alopecia areata. I see some patches up there. And then we have alopecia totalis. When you look at alopecia totalis, you're looking at the entire head. There's no hair on the entire head. My brother sitting here, he has no hair on the entire head. And that is alopecia totalis. And sometimes the eyelashes and eyebrows are affected. And then we have alopecia universalis. Now, when you have alopecia universalis, there's no hair on the nowhere. And we were born with over follicles over.
Your microphone is going in and out, Doris.
Am I going in
Your
and out? Universalis is when there's no hair on the entire body. Now, like I said, we were born with over 5 million follicles over the entire body, and over 100,000 of those make it to the head. And when you lose all of those are really autoimmune deficiencies. So we really should be checked out. And I always say there's 4 people you should have in your Rolodex, and that is a dermatologist, a nutritionist, a trichologist, and you should also have, I'm trying to think of the other doctor name who deals with the hormonal system.
endocrinologist.
Endocrinologist, that's right. You need to have those in your, and a psychologist, because there's something that we really rarely talk about, and that's trichomania. Trichomania is when a person just sit and pull the hair out. And the one thing we have for that, we have our CBD, which is infused in our product, which help calm you down. It helps with anxiety. So we're in an epidemic. There's over 80 million people who are losing their hair. And we are in an epidemic right now. So we got to be really, really careful as to which direction we're taking it in. And Wakanda has definitely gotten to the root of the problem. And I always say have knocked it out of the park. We have different we have other reasons why. We have the stress level. And stress is with everybody, even our pets are stressing now. And stress causes hair loss. That's one of the reasons why we have hair loss. Then we have a diet. You are what you eat. You know, a lot of people plant tomatoes and look for corn to grow. That is that is not good. You are what you eat. Good things in, good things out. And that's no lie. And then we have chronic illnesses. When you deal with chronic illness, you are dealing with medical. And when dealing with medical, you deal with different medication that you're taking. And I always advise people, look at your medication, see what's the side effects. Most of the time, side effects is hair loss. But I can't tell you to get off of your medication. I can only tell you to do what your doctors are saying. And if that can bring you off your medication, there's a chance your hair will come back. As long as your follicle is still alive, still intact, you should get your hair back. And how
Well,
the follicle is there? There's little fuzz on the scalp, and there's also there's little fuzz on the scalp, and then there's little holes in the scalp. That's an indication that your follicles could just be sick, sluggish, or just lying dormant until stimulated to wake up.
well, aren't there some ingredients in our hemp powered hair that really helps? I know that you taught us a little bit about DHT, and there's an ingredient in our hemp powered hair that helps with that. Can you tell us more about that?
Peppermint oil is in our hemp powered hair. That helps stimulates the blood circulation, which is very good. Blood going throughout the body in a timely manner and a healthy manner helps. We have cinnamon. Cinnamon helps with those radicals, those little free radicals just running around in the body. Then we have our salmon, our wild salmon oil. Wild salmon oil helps with the omega 3s. It also helps strengthen the hair, make it stronger, make it shinier. Uh, moringa. Moringa is one of the things that just help with with your health of your body. And I always say a healthy body produces healthy outcome.
And what about black seed oil? What does that do for you?
Yeah, the black seed oil is so amazing. It is one of the things that help calms down an itchy scalp. Dry, itchy scalp, that can be very harmful if you continue to dig because the follicle is 0.3 centimeter beneath the epidermis. And it is so important that you protect the follicle at all costs because we can end up losing a follicle. And once you lose a follicle, then you have lost a strand of hair forever.
So now what about when I was little and my mama would sit me down between her legs on the floor and she would part my hair and just take the comb and scratch my hair all the way over my head and then brush it real hard and just like we just brush it like 100 strokes. That was the thing. Scratch your head, 100 strokes, throw some grease on it, and go on to bed.
Oh,
So what how does that work? How does that help you, or does it hurt you?
your mama was clogging your pores because you know they had that thick, heavy grease. Clogging your
Dax.
Yeah, oh yes, clogging your pores. And when your pores are clogged, that means your skin is the largest organ of elimination. So if nothing was getting out, what was it doing to your follicles? Right then, you were setting up toxic. Then that aggressive brushing was causing, right then, it was already causing traction, alopecia. Okay, setting the memory up for that. And then she was most likely she was either way too tight ponytails, and then stimulation today is different back then. Those deep stretches could cause definitely harmful damage.
Your we heard most of that. Your microphone was going in and out too.
I think somebody should check their see if they muted because I'm mine is not I'm not doing it. I think it's,
Yeah, it's kind of coming in and out on mine and several others.
yeah, I think I'm hearing it on mine.
Okay.
Is
Yeah,
that,
it could just be the connection. It could be anything.
well, I'm
Alrighty.
close to it.
Okay. Well, I think that we good. Yeah, maybe closer. So now you helped us develop this entire hair care system, Doris. So you were so gracious last week to go through it and give us an actual demonstration about the renewing shampoo. Tell us, why does that renewing shampoo, why did you name it renewing shampoo?
Because that's exactly what it does, Kathy. It actually goes in and help renew what you have, even the damage that has been done that is not so severe, that is irreversible. And I'm just going to give you two of the oils that's in the renewing shampoo that I feel plays a great part. And that is the jute oil, and it stimulates the hair follicle. It promotes hair growth. It strengthens the strands and restore the moisture. Hair is made of two things, that's moisture and protein, and you need both of those to keep the balance in the hair. Also, it has the eucalyptus leaf essential oils, and that's the natural nourishing properties. It soothes and calm the scalp. So healthy looking strands, because you want healthy looking strands. I don't care how long or how short, you want them to be healthy. And it's very relaxing from the aroma. Anytime you have a great aroma in a product, what it does, it just relaxes you. And when you're relaxed, body are relaxed.
You fading out again, dear.
Okay.
I can
When,
hear okay. I heard the okay.
okay.
And you were talking about the aroma as far as it giving a calming.
Right. The eucalyptus oil that's in there has has a very relaxing aroma. When
Uh-huh.
you are relaxed, your arteries are relaxed, your veins are relaxed. So the fluid that flows through the body, mainly your blood that you're really concerned about, it helps flow much better.
And then that CBD in there
Oh, the
getting to your skin. Wow.
Yes, the CBD oil is a plus plus. When we first came with hemp powered hair, I was so excited because I said that's my baby. But hemp powered hair came back with what? Five other products.
Had babies, right? So tell us about that moisturizing conditioner. So once you do step one and you put in that conditioner, what does that do for you? How long should you let it stay in and all of that?
You're talking about the moisturizing conditioner that goes with the system.
Yes, step two.
Oh my goodness, it is so awesome because it's organic lavender flower water, which is an inflammation. It eliminates that, and that's what Dr. Rita. If you ever heard her, she talks about inflammation and how it affects the body as well as the hair, and it also helps in the itchiness and the dandruff, which sometimes dandruff is disguised, but it can be disguised as the product that's left on the scalp. That's why our moisture rising conditioner is easy to rinse out. And that's important because you don't want to clog the pores. Also, a lot of people say dandruff, but dandruff is the skin that has been accelerated and they're sitting there. You got to get that off. Okay.
Is that what my mama was trying to scratch off of my scalp?
Yes, yes, that was what Mama was really doing. She was trying to eliminate, but you want to make sure, like I shared with you guys last week, when you rinse it, you want to rinse like it's your each time like it's your last rinse to get all that product off the scalp. That's important. And then it helps with the sebum, the organic lavender flower water. It helps with the sebum. What is sebum? Sebum is that natural oil that we get from each strand. Each strand of hair has a sebaceous gland connected to it, and it secretes sebum. Which sebums help lubricate that strand, and that's why it's important that you get rid of the buildup so our hemp powered hair can get in and do what it was designed to do. We also have the Roman chamomile flower water, which helps with irritation and sensitive scalp. Some people do have sensitive scalp. We also have two types of dryness. We have uh, which can be found on the scalp. We have seborrhea sicca, which is the dry look that we have, and then we have seborrhea oleosis, which is the oily, what we call dandruff. I hate really calling it dandruff because sometimes it is not what we call it. It is what we have neglected to get out. So that's important, you guys.
So would you say that that's buildup?
Yes, exactly. It is
Okay.
because sometimes and not in everybody, everybody's different. We have accelerated um, cells, dead cells.
And that would be dandruff?
That will be called dandruff.
Okay, gotcha.
Will be called dandruff. Now, that's why the scalp facial, I introduced that a while back. The scalp facial is so important. If you was on last week or you request the video, I'll show you how to render a scalp facial. It's very relaxing and it's very rewarding for your pores because it deep cleans the pores and get that all that toxin waste come out and help our hair to get in.
My husband has an assignment to do that. I tell you, we have a weekly thing where we have, something that we do for each other. And so that is his assignment this weekend. I cannot wait to Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Those are his days off. So he's got his assignment already. And so the
Awesome.
the next part of that is our leave-in detangler. Tell us more about how that works.
Well, I hate you missed it last week if you did miss it because the model that I had, she is a client of mine, but she haven't had her hair thermally texturized, and that's formerly known as a press and curl, in quite some time because of the pandemic. She chose to stay away until I said, "Oh, come on, I'm going to use you as a model." So her hair was very long, and she has that fine texture hair, a lot of hair, but fine texture. And it was amazing how the detangler just combed right through.
It really did.
It really did. And
It was really wonderful to see that.
it has the organic jojoba seed oil, which is a moisturizer rich in vitamins and minerals that nourishes hair, including vitamin C, B, E, copper, and zinc. It prevents hair loss and promotes hair thickness. Now, she has quite a bit of density, which is the thickness, but her hair was very fine and curly, very curly.
Very much so, yeah.
Now, when you use the detangler, you are going to go in close and spray it because it gives a mist. And you don't want the mist to go out into the air, into the environment. You want to make sure you hone in close and mist all of it and comb from the ends towards the scalp. Hair does not tangle near the scalp, it tangles at the end. So you want to comb it out from the ends towards the scalp. And when I blow dried it, I showed them how it was blow drying so easy, very easy to comb out. So we also in our detangling conditioner, we have our black seed oil, which maintains a healthy scalp, seal in moisture, thickens the hair, and relieve an itchy scalp. All along the way, you want to do everything you could to relieve that itchy scalp so you will have less damage to the follicle. And I also share with you, when you're doing a shampoo, you use the ball of your fingertips and not your nails. You don't want to cause any irritation to your scalp or to to your clients. If you're a stylist of the line, to a client's scalp, that's important.
And what does that do when you're, getting in there with a hard comb and trying to dig that up or digging it in with your fingernails? Tell us more about what that really does to the scalp and what kind of problems that can cause.
Well, first of all, remember I shared with you that your follicle is zero point 0.3 centimeters beneath the epidermis. Epidermis being the top layer of skin.
So you
Now,
can rip hair out.
yes, not only rip hair, you can tear up that follicle. And remember, once you kill a follicle, all you have done a follicle hysterectomy. And what does that mean? No more hair.
I've never heard it put that way. Follicle hysterectomy. Lord have mercy. That is so graphic, but that's what we need to know
Yes,
because we need to see that Hysterectomy, any kind of ectomy, mean it's getting taken out.
Exactly. Could happen in that sense. And Kathy, most people don't realize that they're in hair loss caution until they're like 51% losing.
Oh my God.
Yes,
That's amazing. So is there any way to be able to turn that around if you've gotten to 51% loss?
you can. And I was diagnosed with CCCA, and we talked about this once. And that central, I started to lose my hair in the top. And then it became centrifugal, which it started to spread out. Cicatricial, which I had scar tissue alopecia. But with the ingredients that we have in hemp powered hair, my hair came back. It took 8 months, but I started seeing results after 2 months.
And you only use hemp powered hair. We didn't even have the system, did you?
No, didn't have it. And most people don't have the patience. See, they want that microwavable fix. So if you start, and I tell people, you may have a healthy looking head of hair, but you want to still use the hemp power. You want to use the SOS system, and you want to use the hemp powered hair. You want to start before because hair goes through 3 phases. It goes through the anagen phase, it goes through the catagen phase, and it goes through the telogen phase. The anagen phase
Oh,
the anagen phase is the phase where the hair is growing. It stays naturally anywhere from 2 to 6 years. Then it transform over to the catagen phase. It was about 5 months it sits there. And then it goes to the telogen phase. Now, the telogen phase is where you have shedding, you have fallout. And when it's in the anagen phase, it has great blood supply. Once it goes over into the catagen phase, it starts to lose that blood supply. When it gets in the telogen phase, it's no longer receiving blood. And that's the fallout. That's natural. You should be losing anywhere from 50 to 100 strands a day. Okay. Now, if it's more than that, and if it's intelligent effluvian, that's when it's excessive. That's when you know something is wrong. And I always say, if you see something, say something. Meaning, if you see excessive hair in the shower, excessive hair in the shampoo bowl, and the only way you're going to know about the shampoo bowl is that it is cleaned after every client. And then you can tell if that client is losing excessive amount of hair. So if you have lost excessive amount of hair, providing that the follicle is still there, Kathy, there's a great possibility that your hair will return. But if you continue to not say anything, do anything, it's going to continue to get worse.
perfect. I'm glad you said that. LL says that their hair is thinning. They need the scalp facial. And so for someone whose hair is thinning, how would you say they go about doing that? And is there something special they need to be doing?
Well, I would always say first get in the system. Get in the system. Get your SOS system. I tell everybody that talk to me about it because there aren't no guarantees. Let's start there. But if you get in the system, give it 6 months. Give your hemp powered hair. How do you use the hemp powered hair oil? You place 6 drops under the tongue 3 times a week, and you do the drops on the scalp wherever you challenge 3 times a week. Now, I always tell people, please do not let the nozzle touch your scalp or your hair because of contamination. But I like to put mine under the tongue at night when I'm going to sleep. That way, I'll just let it dissolve under because you don't want to drink anything or swallow for 60 seconds. So when I put it under, plus it helps relaxes me too because it has CBD in it, and CBD helps with the entire body. That's important.
Now, there's a question about wigs. What do wigs do to the follicle? These people, there's a couple people that said that they wear wigs all the time.
Well, wig really doesn't do anything to the follicle. I would suggest if you have some hair loss issues, I would suggest that you wear a wig opposed to putting on a weave because you can take that wig off and still treat your hair and scalp. But when you're wearing a wig, you are applying more, not a wig, I'm sorry, a weave, meaning that you're braiding your hair up, you're sewing it on, you're applying more tension, you're causing probably some traction, which can cause traction alopecia. So I would always suggest, because some people are so quick to put a weave, meaning sewing, on something, which causes a lot of challenges, opposed to a wig, which you can take off. My only thing is, if you put a wig on, you want to protect your hairline by putting on a stocking cap, something that's going to cut down on the friction around the hairline, or put a silk band around the hairline and set the wig on top of the band.
Excellent advice. Excellent advice. And would you say that the ones that have the, because I know that you said that the reason why they invented wigs with the edges already there, like lace fronts, you said that they invented lace fronts because of people having traction alopecia and having their hairline start to recede so far back that they needed to have fronts, right? And
Exactly.
so would you say that with a lace front, is there anything that you can do to help protect those edges, or are you just really risking that?
Okay, I've seen a question on here, Kathy, before I answer that. What you put under your tongue is your hemp power hair oil.
That's right.
Okay, when you're wearing a lace front wig, see, lace front wig was originally for movies and television. And when my daughter, that's what she does, she works in movies and television. And when she first got in it, she had to take a test. And that test was part of learning how to do the wigs with the lace fronts. So what they did, they shaved off an inch of the person's hairline. Say if you was a actress or an actor in a movie, they would shave off during the duration of the filming. And that way you didn't have that friction and causes that to become traction alopecia. When the movie was over, you grew back your hairline. But today's world, they have worn out the edges. They have worn out the edges with the traction of braiding too tight, sewing too tight. Now they don't have a choice. So what they did, they made the lace fronts. Now, our advice to everybody who's wearing lace fronts now, just because for vanity reason, for convenience, but you still have a hairline, is drop that lace just below your hairline, not right at the hairline. Just go like a fourth or less below your natural hairline. That way you don't lose your hairline wearing somebody else's.
I like how you said that. I like how you put that. LL also wants to know, after the hairline recedes, will it grow back?
Good, great question. Sometime it will, providing the follicle is still there. But if the follicle is gone, absolutely it won't return. Now, how do you know the follicle is gone? There is slick. That skin there is baby bottom slick. There's no indication of any holes, any fuzz, or nothing. You will then be wearing a lace front from now on.
Got you. Great. There was also a question about the hemp powered hair that we had in December, where it had a higher concentration of CBD in it. Normally, our hemp power hair has 100 milligrams of CBD, and that is a sufficient amount along with the essential oils that are in there. That particular batch did test out as a higher amount of CBD, but for the most part, that is what you're going to find. And in fact, the formula with 100 milligrams of CBD in it is the exact formula that Doris used to help grow her hair back in the center of her head. That was a batch issue, and we have to report what's actually in the batch on the label. So your customers should absolutely not feel any short-sightedness with that, because it is very effective with just 100 milligrams in there. So just let them know that, yeah, that was just the way that that batch turned out. It is not the norm for that. So I am very aware that in 2020, I think in November and December, we had a batch that had a higher amount of CBD. But by and large, over the past year and a half or so that we've had the hemp powered hair, it has only been 100 milligrams along with those, what is it, 12 essential oils or 10 essential oils that are in there?
13.
13 essential oils that are in there. So along with that. Um,
Kathy, the one thing I'm excited about, the oils that are linked to all of the SOS system, including hemp powered hair,
mhm.
root oil, and the leave-in, the moisturizer, is because they all link together. And I always say it's like a chain, and that chain is so strong until you can break it. And that's where each one of those products or those support the other one.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Okay.
That's why that system flows so well. And speaking of flow, onto the styling cream.
Yes, styling cream is amazing. Now, when you look at the styling cream, you want to look at it. It's in a little box, a little container, and everybody think they need a lot. You don't need a lot. If you noticed last week, when I put some in my hand, it was a very small amount, but when I rubbed it together, it emulsified. And when it emulsified, I was able to distribute it throughout the hair, comb it through, and it was amazing. It has the organic shea butter, which is another anti-inflammatory properties, which provide healing effects without clogging the pores. You want to always be mindful of what will clog the pores, because if nothing can get out, that means nothing could get in. And if nothing can get out, then you're going to have some challenges with your follicles. You end up with folliculitis. And anytime there's itis, there's illness. Then we also have poppy seed oil, which is high in polyunsaturated fats, acid providing your scalp and hair with the nutrients that needs to produce healthy, strong hair. And it's great for all types of hair, even damaged or color treated hair. And I'm getting ready today to get some color, Kathy. I'm going to step my game up some more. I'm going to get some color. When I
Well,
go,
what color are we going for today?
I told my cousin I don't want to be blonde, but I do want some color. So when I go back home, I'm gonna have a whole new
It could be red. It could be, oh my goodness.
somewhere in there. It's gonna be a noticeable change. So
I hear you. All right, Stella, you go now with your bad self.
I'm gonna get my groove back while I'm down here.
I'm telling you, that's the place to do it. That is the place to do it.
Oh yes, oh yes. So you guys, we have the product. We absolutely have the product for you to try. And I always say it's got to become a household name. Our CEO, she is a person who really feels great about what we have. She's a person who listens, and we just got to get behind her and this whole movement and make sure this become a household salon hold name. Why not?
Right, exactly. Why not? And then lastly, you really are the person that started this oud body oil movement in the hair, and now everybody's using it, including yours truly. After the styling cream, and you're exactly right, the styling cream, you don't need very much, and I have a whole lot of hair. And I use more than what you used last week on your client, but not very much more on my hair. Uh-huh.
And I want to also share back up and share with them about the hemp powered hair oil and using it as a treatment.
Oh my goodness, yes, do.
People that wear weaves, they have their hair locked down with the braids, sewed on with the tracks, and then the hair is going to still shed. It may not come off the head, but it's still going to shed. So we have in our hemp powered hair, we have clove oil, and what clove oil does, it helps uh, eliminate some of the shedding. You're going to shed, that's the norm, but you don't want to excessive shed. So we have our treatment, and I don't know how much hair anybody would have that, especially when I'm not servicing. So you're going to take anywhere from a half an ounce to an ounce, depending on the thickness of the hair, not the size of the head, thickness of the hair. And you're going to add 12 drops of our hemp powered hair. shake it well, and you're going to dry the hair. This is a person who's wearing a weave, even if they're not wearing a weave. You want to dry the hair 50%. Then you want to go back and spray on. And when you're wearing a weave, you're going to spray on the braids and the hair near the scalp. Not so much the weave hair because that's commercial hair. You're going to go back under the dryer and you want to dry thoroughly. Now, why do you want to dry thoroughly? You want to dry to make sure there's no mildew that takes place if you don't properly dry the hair. And then when you have the hair that you're going to style in another kind of way, you want to dry it 50% also. And then you want to go and spray your treatment on. And your treatment then go back and you completely dry or set or however you're going to style. But we're trying to give the hair all the support that we can give it with our hemp powered hair oil treatment. And that's important. So if a person is wearing locks or braids, you're going to spray the locks, you're going to spray all the way to the end, especially if it's their locks. And if they're braids, you braid down to where their hair ends. I mean, spray down to where their hair ends and finish drying. And that's important. And I notice in my practice that the people that I do that on, the clients that wearing the weaves, they have less shedding. And that is the idea. That's the purpose, is to have less shedding in the end when they take those that commercial hair off, in which they should be taking it off at least every 8 weeks. They should take that commercial hair off. Give a scalp facial is a must. That's not no question at that point. They automatically get a scalp facial when they're doing a weave. And then you just, just continue to give them. Scalp facial should be once a month. But if they wear a weave, when they take it down, it's automatic.
I love how you're giving pointers for additional ways to add services for the professionals. And I'm glad that you address locks. I wear locks LL, and not only do I use the styling cream on my locks when I'm twisting or when I'm just styling for the day, if I'm just kind of neatening things up, but I also use that Oud body oil and just squirt it in different areas on my scalp, a little bit in my hand, rub it in my scalp, run it through my locks, and I am just turning my own hair so I can smell my own hair. And so
I love
um,
blue body oil because it was for the body, and well, hair is a body, it's a body, and hair is an appendage of skin. So I say, let me skirt some and put it on my hair. It's my body. It's an
that's right.
the skin, nails. I took it to my pedicure, now sharpening it on the feet, and so it's amazing uh, what we have right in front of us, and don't take it to the max. And I believe
That's right.
to the max because I took my CBD oil, 500 milligrams, and I dropped some in my color.
There you go.
Color was amazing. So it's like, use what you got. Look inside of what you have here with Wakana before you step out into another world. I mean, we know what we have.
That's right. Michelle wants to know, is air drying good for the hair or should we use a hair dryer? With those of us with natural hair, I air dry even in the winter time. I have a hair dryer, but I can probably say I've used it twice in a 12-month period. And that was when I washed my hair and it was below 30 degrees outside. And I knew I was going out. But air drying to me seems like the easiest and definitely the less stressful way. What would you say, Doris?
I will absolutely agree with you. Heat causes dehydration. And when you are constantly dehydrating something, it can cause some damage. Now, that's environmental. That's one of the reasons why people lose their hair. And I always share with people when a person works in an office and they're having some hair loss issues, especially in the top, you want to find out where do they sit in the office. If they sit under the vent in the wintertime, what's coming out? Heat. In the summertime, what's coming out? Cold. So you're constantly hitting that top area of your head. So if you can dry naturally, that is the way. And I can say a lot of styles that are coming in now are natural styles. Look at the commercials on TV. A lot of styles now are coming in natural. We get out, walk out in the rain now. Oh well, if it's raining, yeah, I can get it wet because we know that it's gonna dry naturally. So natural is always the way to go. But if you cannot dry naturally, then you know you're gonna go to the heat. The one thing about locks though, when you're drying locks, you want to make sure you dry them on top of your head. Don't let them hang down because the weight of the water is going to cause more stress to the follicle.
Amen. So we have one of our reps who actually went from bald to really growing a great a crop, and she said she uses it 2 times a day, every day, hemp powered hair. She said, "Am I overusing?" And she said she thought she heard you say that you could use it every day 2 times. So can you speak to that, please?
Well, you don't really have to use it every day, but at least 3 times a week. But if you are using it every day and get a result faster, hey, go for it. But 3 times a week, twice a day is great, morning and night. But hey, if you're getting results, that's what you want. You know, the bottom line to the story, you want results. And if you're getting it, go for it.
Yes, her crop is growing in very well. I've seen it. It's looking good, Ernestine.
Absolutely.
So again, 3 times a week minimally, but on those 3 times a week, twice a day, right?
Yes. And if you get
And she's using it twice a day, every day. So she's
that,
using it about 4 times as much, but absolutely, that's fantastic. You should love it, Ernestine. It's making you look good, even better. Um, so if you do the hair dryer with locks, will face the occurrence of mildew. I'm not sure what you mean. Are you saying that if you dry your hair with a hair dryer that you won't have mildew, or I'm not sure what you're asking, LL.
well, they just have to dry completely without
Absolutely.
the dryer.
If you have long hair like myself, I live in a really, really hot climate. And so I generally put my hair in 2 ponytails or 4 ponytails and kind of like balls, 4 balls on my head, and let it dry that way. And then as they begin to dry, I just basically switch the order or the configuration of them so they can dry. But yeah, that's generally the way that I do mine. Just again up, like she said, because you don't want the weight of the hair to pull on your strands. But I've never had an issue with mildew or souring, mainly because you don't want to wrap it up
That's it.
at all. And, if you're going to go out and you want your hair dry, then you should use a hair dryer. And again, do that in sections
Yeah, I
too.
think that's what happened. They tie it up at night and they haven't dried it. I would always suggest people wearing locks that to shampoo their hair in the morning.
Yep,
By the time they go to
you
bed,
got all day. That's right. You got all day. And if you have to end up shampooing it at night, just towel dry very, very well and sleep on a towel so that your hair, that water can be absorbed into the towel, not your pillow, where it can mildew the pillow and all of that. Use that towel in the bed if you have to do it before you go to bed. And you're not going to stay up to air dry, I mean to hair use a hair dryer on it. But if you're going to air dry with locks and you're not going to be up and around, definitely use the towel. As far as the explanation of the scalp facial, no, it is not on the website, but you can speak with the person that invited you or with your upline about getting that recording, LL. Yes, Michelle, I love air drying too. What were you talking about pictures of, LL? I'm not sure. Wanted to know how often we should use these hair products, like 1, 2, 3 times a week.
well, besides the hemp powered hair, I'll say shampooing once a week is great. It depends on how you style your hair. Now, if you're styling with the thermal texturizing or wet setting, then you may want to make a decision to do it every 2 weeks. But your hemp powered hair, that's at least 3 weeks.
3 times per week, you mean?
Yeah, 3 times per week
Okay.
under your tongue. But as far as your hair, as far as your SOS system, the shampoo, the conditioner, the detangler, you may, that depends on how you go to the salon or how you style your hair, or if you wear natural hair. It all depends. But it won't hurt how often you use it because of what's in it. See, that's the thing about, shampooing and conditioning and blow drying and all that. Is what you're using is what causes the damage.
Great. Well, let's see. Pictures of the lady whose hair grew back. That's a good testimony to convince. Okay, got you. And the lady whose hair grew back, LL, is the one that we've been talking to. Doris Mosley. Doris, do you still have pictures of your before?
I think I do, but it would have to be like email or text or something.
Absolutely. That may be something that we can put on our page. Maybe something that we can put on our page for sure. So, are there any other questions? We got a couple minutes. So, if there are any more questions, please go ahead and add them to the chat. And Doris, do you have any parting words for our guest?
You know what? I just would like to say to each and every one of you guys that are on here, don't let this be the best kept secret. I know sometimes when we learn something, we don't want to share it as a whole. We want to share this because we're in an epidemic now of hair loss, and we want to get a grip on this. And we have found the answer. Wakana has taken their time, and they didn't. I mean, although I was like, let's do this, let's do this, they took their time and formulated and tested and made sure that this was a working formula. Although I was pressing for a system, it was like, okay, but we got to make it right. And I'm so excited about the fact that Melissa, our CEO, she listened and came with it. And I mean, if you know her, you know she does not play. And I always call her a little beast because she brings it. And let's get behind her and make sure that this is the household name, the salon name. Why
Thank you.
I say why
And
not?
I know that's right. Mary wants to know, how often do you shampoo and condition? And do you suggest use of a hair steamer as part of the hair care regimen?
You can use a hair steamer. You could actually put your moisturizing conditioner on and use it under the steamer. That will
So,
work.
what's a hair steamer? Tell us more about that.
Is where it just bring out steam. It's no hot, it's no drying air.
So, is that like a contraption you put over your head, or is it something you run across your hair?
It's a hood.
A hood, okay.
And before I was able to get that steamer, I would take a hot towel, steam coming out of that towel, wrap the head up in that with a plastic cap over it. So for somebody to say, well, I can't afford to buy a steamer, that's the cheap.
That's a cheap steamer. Hot towel.
Not CHEAP, but cheat, like you cheated. That's the
Yeah.
that's the cheating steamer.
Look here. It would be for me CHEAP as in Paul and CHEAT as in Tom also, because I'm cheap like that. Um,
Sometimes you can't get little kids to sit under the steamer. So I think that's how I got started. I would get a hot towel, a wet towel, and I would put it on their head and put them under the plastic cap.
That's exactly what I do for my hot oil treatment with the hemp powered hair. I take the detangler, a little bit of the detangler, hemp powered hair in my spray bottle. I do that every day. But when I'm doing that hot oil treatment, like you were telling us, I take the hot towel. And for me, because I have a lot of hair, I have to use one of those grocery garbage bags, the grocery bags that everybody uses for a garbage bag.
Uh-huh.
So I take one of those grocery bags and I have to put my hair in that and then tie it up like a cap because my hair won't fit on a cap.
That's your steam. And you do a hot oil treatment with the body oil too. Yes, something that only gives off steam, not drying heat.
Got you, got you.
So
Fantastic.
do this. I want to get a great report. Now, remember, every third Monday, we have the what? The beauty bar.
That's right. And then maybe our partner Ernestine can actually have her partner. Ernestine's testimony is that she's been sharing and have sold 7 to 8 full hair systems and hemp powered hair and signed a partner that she's going to use her beautiful hair to promote her business. That's exactly how to do that. That's why you made Sapphire on to Ruby and beyond. So it's that kind of leadership that we're talking about. Absolutely, Ernestine.
And Ernestine could easily be featured at the beauty bar.
Her business partner also, because she's had a fantastic journey so far, and it's been great to watch that. I can't wait to see the professional. What's the frequency suggested for shampoo and conditioning? She did say that already. Once a week at least. LL says that this is very educational. They're sold. And Mary said that she joined because of the SOS program. Oh my God. LL said that I'm cheap and have a buildup from using Suave shampoo. I gotta step up their game. Fantastic. Listen, we love to get luxury products for ourselves to treat ourselves. These products are made with fantastic, organic, natural, pure, good products. And because your skin is the largest organ, you want to be careful about what you're putting into absorbing and around your skin. So, Mary said that Ernestine was a walking billboard. That is so awesome. Yes, that's exactly what we want you to do. So, I love it when people ask me about my locks. And I mean, it's exactly what Doris's dream is about. So, Doris, we're going to make this a household word.
Yes, we got to, Kathy, and everybody on the Zoom today is my new best friend because we want to make sure we want to make we want to make Wakanda the number one, and we're going to make all of us proud to be a part of such an awesome company. We're coming up on 2 years. We're getting ready for the conference, so you got to tell somebody, and they'll tell somebody. That's how I go. It's not keeping it a secret. And I just want to be the one to say, hey, you guys, I knew this would happen. Because of what we have, we can make it happen. We can make it happen. And people are asking for the larger size, especially for the salon. We're going to the next size, but we can't go there until we get done on this level. See, it's levels.
All right, well, that is our time. We love her too, Dr. Mosley. You have gotten some shout outs, some love. And listen, we just appreciate you every single week for your expertise and your time. Listen, enjoy your family. Hey, family, I know y'all in the background.
Yeah,
Thank you for
I
lending.
know.
Thank you for lending Doris to us. So we're gonna give her back to you. We just appreciate you. One of my clients said, "Thank you for disclosing that if you have no hair follicles, your hair will not grow." Exactly. Exactly. Tell the truth, Ruth. That's right. That's exactly right.
What kind of believe in telling the truth.
That's exactly right. People,
All
the
I'm
truth.
asking, Kathy, is that they give it 6 months. It took me 8 to come all the way back, but I started seeing results after 2. I'm not going to tell you it's going to happen overnight. No,
It didn't fall out overnight.
it sure didn't.
Right. Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Doris. Listen, we hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Monday. Remember, tonight is our corporate virtual party where you'll see infusions. You'll learn more about CBD, more about our business, and more about taking this journey with us. So, you can log into Zoom in with Wakana at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. And until then, we will see you. Have a great rest of your day, Doris and Mosley family. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good one.
I'm going to release them now.
Yeah, we're gonna release her back to you and take care of her for us. All right, you guys have a nice day.
Make it a great one.